New developments in the shooting death of hip-hop star Takeoff of the Atlanta rap group Migos. Houston police announcing they've arrested 33-year-old Patrick Clark and charged him with murder.
Made a promise that we would get the individuals or the individual that's responsible for the murder of Takeoff in custody.
The break comes just days after Houston police arrested 22-year-old Cameron Joshua on gun charges, accused of illegally having a gun where Takeoff was killed.
All I heard gunshots and people screaming.
Video obtained by TMZ shows the argument that led up to the shooting, followed by the sound of gunfire and people running.
There was a lucrative dice game argument that happened afterwards outside the bowling alley, which led to the shooting. Takeoff was not involved in playing in the dice game. He was not involved in the argument that happened outside. He was not armed. He was an innocent bystander.
Takeoff was often praised for his peaceful demeanor. He formed the rap group Migos in 2008 with relatives Quavo and Offset. Takeoff was laid to rest in Atlanta last month. Hundreds of fans gathering outside in the pouring rain to celebrate his musical legacy.
We lost a good man. Everybody, the hundreds of people that I talked to, spoke on what a great individual he was.
Police say they can't rule out the possibility of a second suspect, adding that they desperately want to talk with anyone who was there that night. I'm Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Los Angeles.
What's going on, brothers and sisters? If y'all can hear me loudly and clearly, I want y'all to pound a 1 in the chat. Make sure there's no discrepancies in my mic. We got to get into this. "33-year-old Patrick Xavier Clark arrested and charged for the murder of famous rapper Takeoff." So HPD finally has a break in the case. And they supposedly got the right guy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of deficiencies in this whole case. This whole thing has been shrouded in mystery, and there's still more mystery right before our eyes. There's been a whole lot of ideological subversion going on to really question the intelligence of the people. And I believe that this Patrick Clark, 33 years of age, I believe that he's a potential patsy, a fall guy, if you will. Someone who would take the blame. And I'm going to be going into a couple of sources to why I believe this. On top of that, ladies and gentlemen, there's so many unanswered questions. Little Cam was just arrested and jailed for possession of a gun recently for doing some type of petty crime. And here's the issue here. Here's one of the big issues that I'm really having a hard time digesting. How did this go on for a month's time with all of this cell phone footage floating around social media? How did this happen so long with everything going on far as evidence? And why, ladies and gentlemen, has HPD never released what type of shell casings was used in this particular shooting? Why? It almost seems like there was no investigation. On top of that, we can't forget about the speeding SUV that left the scene, flying through red lights, trying to get away. They never identify who was in that vehicle. And it almost seemed like it's part of the script. And I'm going to tell you now, they use numerology a lot. This guy happens to be 33 years of age. Yes, exactly, Slim Hussein. With all this tech, it should have took a matter of minutes to piece together the evidence. A matter of minutes, ladies and gentlemen. This makes absolutely no sense. Now, I'm going to go to another source. I want y'all to see this Patrick Xavier guy facing the judge. And I know some people are still in the chat saying, Bree, I thought that you said it was a blood sacrifice. Well, I still believe that it was a blood sacrifice. If the messy video didn't tell you anything, it should have told you how the industry works. It should have told you how they carry out these hits on these artists, how these contractual agreements stand in the line between blood and everything else. And there's way more evidence that points to a blood sacrifice and a ritual than this Patrick Xavier guy being thrown out there. We have no evidence that he done it. And let me put this out here like this. He has been arrested and charged, but he has not been convicted. I want you to hear me again. He's been arrested and charged, but he has not been convicted. All right. All right, let's go to this dude standing before the judge.
The man accused of killing Migos rapper Takeoff is facing a judge. This is a live look at Patrick Clark in court at this moment, having his rights read to him as we speak. And investigators believe they caught him before he had a chance to flee to Mexico. 33-year-old Clark is charged with murder after police.
They claim they caught him before he had a chance to flee to Mexico. Very interesting.
He opened fire during an argument over a dice game at a party Takeoff was attending in downtown Houston.
Takeoff was hit, even though police say he had nothing to do with that dice game or the argument. Matt Doherty, live outside the Harris County Jail in downtown Houston with the latest. Matt?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you could tell from that live video, but he was chaperoned by about 10 officers. That's not normally how things go over here. We're told that he was separated from all of the other inmates and made his appearance very last. Patrick Clark stood before a judge for the first time as he was read the charges against him. Last night, Houston police say they arrested Clark here in East Harris County.
Within a couple hours, I would say half the parking lot here was full of the police officers' cars.
Stefan Godillo was here at Papa John's making pizzas when suddenly dozens of officers flooded the parking lot.
But we saw the officers going inside and putting on bulletproof vests and armor and all kinds of vests. Pretty much looked like they were getting ready for some kind of raid.
Houston police say Clark was taken into custody without incident. At a news conference today, police wouldn't give many details about the case or what led them to suspect Clark was the rapper's killer. HPD Chief Troy Finner said Takeoff was not the intended target outside of the downtown bowling alley that night.
Definitely.
What, you know how they keep saying that Takeoff was not the intended victim of this shooting? It really stands out to me that they continue to say that to make it seem as if it's some type of freak accident and he wasn't the target. Even the news keeps on pushing that same narrative, where Takeoff was the only one hit. Takeoff was the one who got 3 bullets lodged in his body and bled out. Nobody else died on the scene, and the other supposed people who were shot, the alleged people who were shot, they never came forth. Why we haven't heard anything from the other people who were shot? It's like they continue to stress that he was not the target to make this seem as if it was a freak accident. Don't nobody catch 3 bullets to their body, 1 in the head, neck, and torso, if it was an accident. It's so many blurred lines in this case. It's so many instances in which you can yell obstruction of justice, even when it comes to TMZ releasing certain footage. What it seems like is that they had to have a fall guy. Word through the grapevine is that 33-year-old Patrick Xavier Clark has connections with mob ties. And I'm going to be going into a source that I seen to affirm that. And, you know, it had to be a fall guy. When everybody should be held accountable at this private party It should have been obstruction of justice. The fact that nobody seen anything, but everybody was there. It's just so much going on. The age 33, Masonic, the time of death around 3 o'clock. There's a lot of gematria. There's a lot of numerology being used. 33 again. Yeah. So we have, let's play this again. Listen carefully.
Downtown bowling alley that night.
Definitely wrong place at the wrong time.
The event was a private party. There was a lucrative
They just keep saying he was at the wrong place at the wrong time. That's not the circumstance. Anybody with common sense can see that Takeoff was the target. Takeoff was the target. Nobody else died. It was a private party. And they keep on trying to say it was this freak accident where Takeoff just absorbed all the bullets. So he was just a magnet for all these bullets. It just doesn't make sense, ladies and gentlemen. It has ritual all over it. It has blood sacrifice all over it. Even though you got and you got to peep this. If you have the suspect, if you have the alleged murderer, why are you continuing to say it was a freak accident and he was in the wrong place at the wrong time? Did you hear what I just said, ladies and gentlemen? You have the murderer, and you're still saying that Takeoff was at the wrong place at the wrong time. That doesn't make sense, ladies and gentlemen. You should be trying to find out why he pulled the trigger. You should be asking the cop. You should be asking the suspect, why did you do it? Not it was a freak accident. You see how the media is still pushing the narrative that it wasn't a setup. It wasn't a ritual. It wasn't a sacrifice. It was a freak accident. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Well, you have the murder. You have the murder suspect. That does not make sense, ladies and gentlemen. So let me get this right. You got the suspect in custody, and you sitting here evaluating all the evidence to what took place. And all you got from it was, Takeoff was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. See, when Patrick Xavier Clark or Little Cam or whoever else may have been involved, when they just start shooting, they just accidentally hit Takeoff. From what we gathered, from what the HPD gathered, they just accidentally lodged all these bullets into Takeoff. Do you see how this does not make sense, ladies and gentlemen? Where's the CCTV camera footage? Where's the bowling alley camera footage? Why they never release shell casings so we can know which gun was used? Because there were plenty of guns caught on camera that evening. Casper on that says, and they keep using that dice game story. They do. And there's no evidence of a dice game. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, this is crazy. Let's continue.
Dice game that went on at the event. There was an argument that happened afterwards outside the bowling alley, which led to the shooting. I can tell you that Takeoff was not involved in playing in the dice game. He was not involved in the argument that happened outside. He was not armed.
Videos from the aftermath show.
So you should be trying to find out from the suspect what was the motive. There should be a motive to why he was hit. If all the bullets went in him and you have a suspect in custody, what motive did your shooter have? They are still playing with our intelligence. It's like they're still basically disrespecting the public.
Witnesses fleeing the scene. Police say not one person stuck around to give police a statement about what they saw. The chief once again requested those who...
Not one person stuck around to give any evidence to the police, and not one person stuck around. Not one person stuck around at this private party where this high-profile rapper, known rapper, gets hit and destroyed. Nobody sticks around to cooperate with police. and we don't believe this is an inside job. It's just way too much conflict in this situation. It makes absolutely no sense. Let's continue.
Saw it happen, come forward.
We know who was on the scene, and we will be contacting and reaching out and finding those individuals. This is a murder.
Hold on. Is it a murder? Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Is it a murder or was it a freak accident? Because it seemed like y'all confusing the people, right? One thing for sure is very messy. It's very messy. In one breath, you say he was at the wrong place at the wrong time. Shots were just fired. And now you saying it's a murder. So if it's a murder, that means it was set up. It was premeditated. If it was a murder, there's a motive. Let me say that again. If there's a murder, there's a motive. Why HPD ain't trying to point to the motive? Because if we want justice for Takeoff, one of the first things we want to know is the motive of his death. For anybody to rest easy, for anybody to have any type of resolve, we have to have a motive for why this man was murdered. Not that he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Not that, pardon me. Not that, you know, it's just an unfortunate situation and it was a random act of violence. No, what was the motive of this man being taken out like that? This guy's secret society, boule, FBI cover-up, espionage, mob ties written all over this. And I'm going to say this right now. Anybody who supports Quavo after this situation, anybody who support Quavo after this situation, listen, you part of the 2/3. You just part of the 2/3. Because he didn't even stick around to cooperate with police. Nobody stuck around. And if this Xavier guy did it, everybody seen him do it. Now I'm going to go to another screen for y'all. Because this is something else right here, what we're witnessing. And shout out to Ringo TV Reacts. There was a short that just came into my feed that I want to share, that I think the short is very telling. Suspect arrested for Takeoff's death. Did he take the rap for mob ties? I want to play this real quick.
Play your position or play a position. Because understand, it don't matter what position you play. If the team win, you get a championship ring. So might go over your head, but what's understood? So you got to learn how to play your position or play a position. Because understand, It don't matter what position you play. If the team win, you get a championship ring.
Oh, really?
Play your position. Because if you play your position, the whole team win, no matter what the position is. So what that looks like, in my humble opinion, is that he took one for the team. It looked like he took one for the team. Is he being used as the fall guy just to beat the case? Let me put this out here. There was I was watching the BMF documentary that's on Amazon Prime, and there was one incident with Big Meech in a shooting outside of an Atlanta club. He didn't do it, but he stepped forward and he decided to talk to law enforcement in order to pretty much sway the attention away from the actual shooter who did it. And while they were sitting there investigating Big Meech and going through the whole rigmarole of court and trying this man in court, he ended up beating the case because there was such lack of evidence that they was not even able to pin it on Big Meech. And guess what? The actual shooter walks away scot-free. Now, this is a trick that's used a lot, especially in mob organizations, mafia organizations. They'll have somebody, if there's a person in interest that the police have, they'll let this person be the fall guy because they'll know that that person will beat the case. Now, I want to know what evidence the police have that he was about to flee to Mexico. I would like to see that evidence brought to the table. Was it a plane ticket? What was it? What evidence points to him about to flee to Mexico? Yeah, it was actually Wolf Jones who did the shooting outside. And yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But they spent all these resources in trying another person. So, you know, this whole case points to a lot of espionage, a lot of corruption within the HPD. It's just too much. Big Miss Rose says, I personally don't go to certain places because I already know it's a setup for a Christian. Don't put yourself in the devil's den. There's no protection. That's a fact. There's no protection and there's no honor amongst thieves. Now, I want to go back and break down this news brief because the devil is in the details. The devil is definitely in the details, and we got to really examine this thing. Let's see here. Let's go.
New developments in the shooting death of hip-hop star Takeoff of the Atlanta rap group Migos. Houston police announcing they've arrested 33-year-old Patrick Clark and charged him with murder.
Made a promise that we would get the individuals or the individual that's responsible for the murder of Takeoff in custody.
The break comes just days after Houston police arrested 22-year-old Cameron Joshua on gun charges, accused of illegally having a gun where Takeoff was killed.
All I heard gunshots and people screaming.
Video obtained by TMZ shows the argument that led up to the shooting, followed by the sound of gunfire and people running.
There was a lucrative dice game argument that happened afterwards outside the bowling alley, which led to the shooting. Takeoff was not involved in playing in the dice game. He was not involved in the argument that happened outside. He was not armed. He was an innocent bystander.
Takeoff was often praised for his peaceful demeanor. He formed the rap group Migos in 2008 with relatives Quavo and Offset. Takeoff was laid to rest in Atlanta last month. Hundreds of fans gathering outside in the pouring rain to celebrate his musical legacy.
We lost a good man. Everybody, the hundreds of people that I talked to, spoke on what a great individual he was.
Police say they can't rule out the possibility of a second suspect, adding that they desperately want to talk with anyone who was there that night. I'm Morgan Norwood, ABC.
And they keep on saying they desperately want to talk to anybody that was there that night. Nobody seemed to be coming forth, which screams foul play in itself. This thing doesn't sit right with me, ladies and gentlemen. You know how you hear some news and you sitting there and you trying to process all of this, and you looking at the series of events that took place that leads up to what we witnessing right now. It's like something is missing here. And somebody said little Cam could be potentially snitching because he caught that gun charge, and maybe he's throwing names out there. You know, that could be a possibility, but to be honest, with all of the surveillance, with all the evidence that should be readily available, it shouldn't be no need to snitch. It's really a mockery to the public that they never released the shell casings. And I keep on bringing up these shell casings because I don't think people understand the importance of talking about what kind of gun was used. If this man is going to be charged with the murder of Takeoff, they're going to have to bring the gun into evidence. Let me make this clear. no murder weapon, you're not getting charged with murder. I say, and I will say this again, if there's no murder weapon, you will not get charged with murder. I don't care if this Patrick Clark guy has tickets to go to Mexico, one-way tickets, and they got him on the docket that he was about to leave and never come back. If the ballistics don't add up, if there's no murder weapon, which the media never released to the public, and we had all these guns on camera, if there's no murder weapon, if there's no ballistics, if there's no DNA, if there's nothing, this man will walk scot-free, y'all. He will walk scot-free. There's no way they can charge this man with murder without the proper evidence. That's why I keep on bringing up this murder weapon. Why the media told us, oh, it was just so much debris. We never figured out what kind of gun it was. They didn't tell us anything. It's like they played a game with us. So I'm saying that because, listen, something don't make sense about all of this. It just doesn't add up. Tamika Scott says, unless they have the video, right? And if they have a video, they would tell us it's clear-cut video evidence that led up to the arrest. That's what it would say. And if they had it on video, Tamika Scott, they would have the gun as well. They would have everything. If they had him red-handedly on video, pulling the trigger on Takeoff, that would have been a done deal. Straight up. Let's look at let's look at these cops back here.
Who he was.
Police say.
Yeah, they got CIA written all over this.
On what a great individual he was.
Police say they can't rule out the possibility of a second suspect, adding that they desperately.
And now they're talking about the possibility of a second suspect. Well, is it two different bullets that's lodged into Takeoff? What gives you the notion that it's a second suspect? How many bullets, how many different type of bullet fragments was lodged in Takeoff to make you think it was a second suspect? Were there different guns fired? Did all of the bullets come from the same gun? See, there's so many questions that we can ask as people that nobody's really asking. It just doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. There's so many questions to be asked.
First tonight and happening right now, the man accused of killing Migos rapper Takeoff is facing a judge. This is a live look at Patrick Clark in court at this moment, having his rights read to him as we speak. And investigators believe they caught him before he had a chance to flee to Mexico. 33-year-old Clark is charged with murder after police say he opened fire during an argument over a dice game at a party Takeoff was attending in downtown Houston.
Takeoff was hit, even though police say he had nothing to do with that dice game or the argument. Matt Doherty, live outside the Harris County Jail in downtown Houston with the latest. Matt?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you could tell from that live video, but he was chaperoned by about 10 officers. That's not normally how things go over here. We're told that he was separated from all of the other inmates and made.
Why was he separated from all the other inmates? He was escorted by dozens of police officers. He was separated from all the other inmates. Why? I don't understand that. And according to Tamika Scott, she says the indictment papers read that all the bullets fired from the same gun. So why did they say something about a second possible suspect? Is this man under protection? He just came out and said in a previous video that, listen, sometimes you got to pretty much take one for the team. If you play your position, the whole team win. Mob ties win if you play in your position. They say Little Cam was in court with 4 lawyers making Masonic hand gestures. You know, I believe that this is all just very disrespectful to the black community. We demand real answers. Matter of fact, some of the questions that I'm proposing in this video, this is what the HPD need to be asked by the people. Somebody getting paid. Yeah, they really think that we slow out here. And they say 2 more people were shot. Why these other 2 people never came forward? Who are these alleged other 2 people who got shot? Did 2 other people really get shot? Remember, they told you they were rushed away in private vehicles. We never got the identity of the 2 other victims who were shot. Why is that? Why is that? And those other 2 people who got shot, did it come from the same gun? Did it come from the same gun that took off Takeoff? So, and if that's the case, why wasn't this person charged with attempted murder and murder? Assault with a deadly weapon? Why is it not 2 other victims? Are y'all listening here? Why aren't there 2 other victims on the docket? If he just went on a damn shooting spree, if he shot 2 other people, then he turned around and shot and killed Takeoff. What's going on here? It's too many questions, y'all. What weapon was used in all of this? You know what? You know what needs to happen? We need to be able to see the entire proceedings of every single court date. Just like the OJ trial. Oh, this is one of them high profile joints right here. This is just like the OJ trial. We need to see everything aired on national TV. We need we need this on court TV. We need this aired like the damn Johnny Depp court joint. We need to see, we need everything brought to justice because it's too many questions. Nothing makes sense. It screams cover up, y'all. It screams cover up. We need the guns in question. We need everybody in question. They need to televise this to the highest. That's what we need. We need this televised, man.
His appearance very last.
Patrick Clark stood before a judge for the first time as he was read the charges against him. Last night, Houston police say they arrested Clark here in East Harris County.
Within a couple hours, I would say half the parking lot here was full of the police officers' cars.
Stefan Gadillo
was he working at Papa John's? What's going on? I know he wasn't mob ties and flipping pies, yo. Was he at work or did he just get arrested in that parking lot? Hold up, let me see.
Officers' cars.
Stefan Gadillo was here at Papa John's making pizzas when suddenly dozens of officers flooded the parking lot.
But we saw the officers going inside and putting on bulletproof vests and armor and all kinds of vests. Pretty much looked like they were getting ready for some kind of raid.
Okay, I guess he was probably at the Stop and Save, or he's probably in one of those stores or something when they raided him.
Houston police say Clark was taken into custody without incident. At a news conference today, police wouldn't give many details about the case or what led them to suspect Clark was the rapper's killer. HPD Chief Troy Finner said Takeoff was not the
Hold on, what did they just say? Hold on. The devil is in the details. Listen to what they say, because they like to fast talk us. They think we slow for real.
Finner said Takeoff was not, or what led them to suspect Clark. Many details about the case or what led them to suspect Clark was the rapper's killer.
The police gave very little details on what led them to believe that he was the killer. The police gave very little details. The devil's in the details. Now I want y'all to listen carefully, because when we're using our minds right now. Police didn't tell us why they arrested Clark. What made you think he did it? Was it video footage? The ballistics match? Was there a firsthand eyewitness? What made you believe he was the killer?
Many details about the case or what led them to suspect Clark was the rapper's killer.
I believe that mob ties, the HPD working together. I believe that they're working together. I believe that there was a meeting. There was a sit down between mob ties. The Prince family have immense amount of power. They pretty much have diplomatic immunity. They sat down with HPD, and this is my theory. And they said, listen, there's going to have to be a fall guy. There's going to have to be somebody who take the rap. There's going to have to be certain proceedings. It's been over a month. There's a lot of evidence out there. The people are asking questions. And what we're going to have to do here is we're going to have to figure out who's going to take the blame. They may not even be, listen, they may not be convicted in all of this, but we got to bring somebody in. We got to bring somebody in. And this is going to, you know, further push the process of everything. And you know what Mob Ties did? They said, listen, y'all already got Lil Cam on a, on a gun charge, on a petty gun charge. Unfortunately, the public is not really, they're not buying Lil Cam's story. They're not satisfied with Lil Cam. And we're going to need somebody else to take the murder for Takeoff. We're going to need somebody else to take the fall. And they put these guys, because you listen, I'm gonna just tell you right now, you can look at these two dum-dums, right? I mean, just look at them. They look like fall guys. Look at them. Look at the look on their faces on mug shots. Now we looking at mug shots right now, ladies and gentlemen. If there's anybody in the hood that's gonna take the fall, be patsies and be fall guys, just look at these damn goofies. Just look at them. If anybody gonna take the fall, it's these goofies. They got that look like, you know what I'm saying? It's gang. It's Mob Ties. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna take the fall. It is what it is. If the team winning, we winning. Especially this new guy, this Patrick Clark dude, 33 years old. Damn goof, a 33-year-old damn goof troop. They goofy as hell out here, man. The streets is dead. Listen, all you youngins out here, the streets is dead. Get yourself a job. Get yourself a career. Get you some internet money, man. There's a lot of opportunities online to make a bag. You know what I'm saying? Tell some jokes. Play some ball. People get paid. Listen, people get paid to play video games online nowadays. Get yourself a game and chat. Do something different with your life, man. Because this is where the streets gonna end you up. Right here looking goofy as hell, taking a fall, being a damn patsy, taking a fall for something that you may not have even done, or if you have done it, you still looking crazy out here, and it ain't safe for you. Because if these guys really did it, if they had something to do with it, if this Patrick guy has something to do with it, it ain't gonna be easy for him in jail. Takeoff had a lot of fans. Ain't gonna be no easy time. That's if he did it, which it looks like the police may be protecting him. He been escorted and separated from other prisoners, which that's a red flag in my opinion.
The police say Clark was taken into custody without incident. At a news conference today, police wouldn't give many details about the case or what led them to suspect Clark was the rapper's killer.
They didn't give y'all no detail. Why? Let me explain something to y'all. Y'all should be outraged at this point that HPD is not giving y'all details on anything. These are pawns on this board, man. HPD ain't gave y'all details about nothing. They ain't telling y'all shit. I mean, they not telling you what kind of gun. They not even telling you why they arrested this dude. Because let me tell you something. The family should be upset that they're not telling them why they arrested this guy. Quavo, Takeoff's mother, everybody on that end should be offended that they're not telling them why he was arrested. Okay, why did you arrest this guy? We're not giving real much details, but we believe this is our guy. Could you imagine being in that room? I want y'all to put yourself in the shoes of the family, right? HPD comes to your door. Your family member was just taken out. HPD taps on your door. We got a guy. We made an arrest. We wanted to let you know. We made an arrest. We think we got our guy. Okay, great. That's wonderful. Okay, why do you believe this is the guy? Look, what led up to the arrest? Sir, man, we don't really want to give you many details to why we think this is the guy. But we believe it's him. Well, how do you know this is the guy? What if we go to court? We have to live out this whole tragic event all over again. All these wounds are opened up. We sitting in court trying to figure out why did you arrest him? We want to make sure this is the guy. I want to know this is the guy who killed my family member. Why did you arrest him? Well, we don't really want to release many details. Was there video footage? Did he have the gun? Is there gun residue on him? Is there a motive to why he might have taken out my nephew, my son? Why do you think it's him? Do you see how this doesn't make sense, that the police ain't telling y'all nothing? Everybody seemed to be in on it, bro. Everybody seemed to be in on it.
HPD Chief Troy Finner said Takeoff was not the intended target outside of the downtown bowling alley that night.
Definitely wrong place at the wrong time.
And they want to keep reiterating the same agenda. They want to keep telling you he was at the wrong place at the wrong time. They want to keep on telling you he was not the intended target, but he's the only one who died. They want to keep on telling you he was not the target. Why is the media continuing to say that? Because if he was murdered, there should be a motive, y'all. Even the HPD is causing more confusion. Hey, what Quavo say when he woke up from that dream in the Messy video? He said, yo, I just dreamed of some messy ass. I just dreamed of something messy. Yo, if this ain't one of the most messy cases, I mean, from local law enforcement to mob ties to QC, this is I'm talking about, this is sloppy. This is sloppy work out here. Everybody connected. Record labels, police department, everybody is connected, bruh. This one of the biggest media cover-ups, the most biggest murder cover-ups I ever seen in my entire life. Out of all of the years of seeing high-profile slings, this one right here takes the cake. This one right here is the one right here. Quavo sat there in that Messy video with that contract. He sat there with a gun on the bed, contract right there at hand. Takeoff walks in the door. The Grim Reaper is sitting right there, right next to Takeoff, saying R.I.P. While Quavo's in bed with the devil. He in bed with the devil, with his head down in shame. Yo, this got blood sacrifice ritual written all over it. I'm not buying what the HPD is saying. Nothing about this case makes any sense. And they keep on reiterating, yo, he wasn't the intended target. Well, who was the intended target? Even the HPD. Takeoff wasn't the intended target, meaning there was no motive. How you going to charge somebody with murder with no motive? How you going to charge somebody with murder with no evidence? How you going to charge somebody with murder with no murder weapon? How you going to charge somebody with murder with no motive, no weapon, nothing? They have nothing on this guy. I would like to see how these charges are going to stick. That's my real. I would love to see how these charges are going to stick. King Connect said it right. They think we are really stupid. They really do. I think what this should have did was really open up a can of worms. All content creators should really stay on their backs about this case. We should keep Takeoff in the news. We shouldn't allow them to just sweep this under the rug. We should continue to push for justice because, believe it or not, we're being heard. The so-called conspiracy theorists are being heard. This is why you've seen HPD police officer boasting to me, I told you we were going to get the person and we got him. Y'all didn't get nobody. But one is innocent until proven guilty, officer. Y'all didn't get the guy until he's been convicted. Y'all made an arrest. Y'all didn't get the guy until he's been charged and until he's been convicted of those charges. You could charge anybody with anything. That's how the law works. You could charge anybody with any damn thing. Until he's convicted of those charges, you ain't get anybody. You didn't even tell us why you arrested this person. Somebody in the chat says, I believe it was more than one shooter. Well, that means there will have to be more than one gun. I also believe that it was more than one shooter, but I don't believe that. I believe that this was a high-end hit, like sort of like what they did to JFK. I believe that Takeoff got JFK'd. There was too many camera angles of his death. There was too many angles set up that was released online through TMZ. I believe it was a setup, an Illuminati ritual, a blood sacrifice with Quavo. A lot of people got their careers back in line based on this. People from the likes of Lil Boosie. People made songs, rest in peace songs for Takeoff. A lot of people ate. They started the Rocket Foundation. They charged for his funeral. A lot of people ate. The record label is eating. The record label is making all kind of buku cash off of Takeoff's death. He's worth more dead than alive. There was a mass come up for a lot of artists, the record label, and a lot of people involved that were close to Takeoff are eating good right now off his death, because that's how treacherous the game is. People will line you up for that bag. Gucci Mane eating off of it. There's a lot of people eating off of it. There's a lot of people who just did interviews. Drake, OVO, 21 Savage, they dropped the album right around the time of all this going on, which their album is, let me just put this out here for the record. 21 Savage and Drake album is hella gay. That's the biggest homosexual record of the year I've ever heard. That's the biggest homosexual record of the year, but that's another story. 21, would you do something for me? Would you do a broke wrist dance for me? 21, would you do something for me? It was a damn fiesta. Yeah, you had Drake on there singing about some damn no broke boys. Don't broke boys. I don't want no broke boys. Yeah, you had Drake on there sounding like a damn city girl out here. But that's beside the point. What I'm saying is a lot of people drop albums around the time. A lot of people, you know what I'm saying, made a lot of money around the time with Takeoff's death, man. Real talk. Yeah, do your thing, 21, do your thing. Ugh. Y'all keep on listening to these switch hitting industry clowns. Keep on listening to them. All wickedness and perversion with these guys, man.
The event was a private party. There was a lucrative dice game that went on at the event. There was an argument that happened afterwards outside the bowling alley, which led to the shooting. I can tell you that Takeoff was not involved in playing in the dice game. He was not involved in...
Why do y'all keep pushing that? So what was the motive for this man's murder? Why did they put 3 bullets in him? Y'all the police, y'all supposed to tell us why they shot Takeoff. Y'all supposed to be telling us why they shot Takeoff. Not, he didn't have nothing to do with it. He was just out there. He was just doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? He was a cool dude. We all know that already. Y'all not telling us nothing new. We want to know the motive for why this man had 3 bullets put in him. The police should be giving us a motive. If there's no motive, no murder weapon, then there's no way somebody can be charged. Chantel Jones, he got shot 3 times, one in the torso, the neck, and the head. And I don't care what nobody say. If you shoot somebody in the torso, the neck, and the head, oh, there's a motive. There's a motive. You have intention. There's an intent. You are really trying to savagely take this person out. That is purposeful. Don't nobody shoot nobody like that unless they trying to take that person out, bro. I believe that Takeoff was snaked by his own nephew for fortune and fame. But I'm gonna say this right now. I believe Quavo is done. I think Quavo is done. I mean, it's over for him. I think that he's being haunted. This man ain't said nothing in over a month. And when he did speak, he read from a script. I'm talking about, I think it's done for that snake. He's being haunted. When that man go look in the mirror, guess what? Takeoff is standing right behind him. When Quavo go to sleep at night, he's seeing Takeoff. That man is being riddled with spirits and demons as we speak. He is being tormented. He is already in hell. And I proclaim that on his life because that's what he deserves. He is suffering the curse of Judas right now. That's what's happening right now. He can't even speak to the public. The way he handled this, it proves guilt. It's written all over him. He can't even face the public no more. And that's what he did professionally. He can't even professionally put on a show no more. He is done. Somebody said, Bree, do you think Offset knew? I think Offset knew something was happening. That's why he got out the group. I think Offset got out because he knew certain requirements were coming. So he wanted to distance himself from what was going to take place. Did he know exactly what was going to happen? After he seen that video, Messy, I think he knew what was going to happen after that if he didn't know before. But I'm going to tell you right now, Quavo, he is dealing with the curse of Judas. I would not doubt that he should be on S Watch. He should be on S Watch because when Judas sold Christ out for the 30 shekels, what ended up happening? Judas couldn't even stand himself. He couldn't even live. He ended up being tormented and followed by demons to the point he offed himself. He couldn't take it. He couldn't handle it. And if you look at how all this played out with mob ties, when this situation first took place, Jay Prince Jr., Drake, OVO Drake, they unfollowed Quavo for a few minutes and followed him back. They unfollowed him for a few minutes and followed him back. Now that's weird. That's some weird stuff right there. You know why they did that? Because they didn't know how Quavo was going to handle it. Quavo probably passed out. Quavo probably didn't know. He went through with it. He did it. You did that to your nephew, bro. Allegedly. You lined your nephew up, bro. You did it. But he didn't know. They didn't know. Mob Ties didn't know how he was going to react. They didn't know if he was going to be able to keep the oath of silence. So they unfollowed him. And then when they got him together, they followed him. They followed him back. Even showed up to the funeral. I'm telling you, man. This is one of the most messy industry hits gone wrong that we will ever witness in history. And it also points to the satanic rituals that take place in the music industry, and that it can possibly even leak to a federal level. We know local law enforcement, a lot of the times they paid off, they bought and sold, they working for the rappers, hip hop police. You know what I'm saying? They right in line with the rappers. We can see that the Prince family is wicked as hell, straight evil. The Prince family is straight demonic, man. Yep. That was Quavo's offering. He offered his nephew, man. And I don't even think he's not even gonna be able to enjoy the fortune and fame. He ain't even gonna be able to enjoy it. He's gonna be haunted all the days of his life. Every step of his life, he's gonna be haunted. This ain't go like he thought it was gonna go. And people see, no matter what the police say, no matter how many people come to the defense of Quavo, you got grown ass rappers that ain't saying a damn thing. The streets ain't saying nothing about Quavo. Because listen, as men, we gangsters, we rappers, all of these things, right? Why nobody's saying, well, where's Quavo at? Out of all the rappers, mainstream rappers, nobody pointing that out. Nobody pointing out that Quavo ain't had nothing to say. Listen, if you street cats out here, you should be able to face the public and say something in regards to your day one, your man from the sandbox getting lined up. You should be the one out there speaking. He done revealed himself as a coward, and none of the rappers are saying nothing about it. Man, them scriptures say the truth will come to the light. All will be revealed. It's all going to be revealed. For real.
The argument that happened outside, he was not armed.
Videos from the aftermath show witnesses fleeing the scene. Police say not one person stuck around to give police a statement about what they saw.
Not one person stuck around to give statements about what they saw. Not one person. Not Quavo, no members of QC, no members of Mob Ties, not one. So let me get this right. Takeoff laid in that bowling alley, bleeding out, brains leaking out, and nobody cooperated. Nobody had anything to say at a private party. And listen, we don't see that this is an inside job. Nobody, let me get this right. Everybody believe everything is relative, and everybody gonna believe that this just was a freak accident on Halloween, mind you, where a lot of people died on Halloween, by the way. There was a lot of industry sacrifices as well. Y'all remember DeVito's son died on Halloween, drowned. Yeah. Africa star DeVito, his son died that night too. Oh, there was a lot of rituals. Let's not forget about what happened in Seoul. Yeah, there was a lot of rituals where 141 people died in Seoul. Come on, man, there was a lot going on that night. Or the 14 people who got shot on the west side of Chicago. Or the clubs, or the multiple clubs that got shot up in Philadelphia. I'm telling you, they sacrifice on Halloween. Nights previous to Halloween, I made a video. I said, listen, y'all, there's a lot of demonic energy around Halloween. There's going to be a lot of sacrifices. There's going to be a lot of soul harvesting going on. And lo and behold, it took place. All on Halloween, this happened. Yep, the fireworks says 500 people died building the World Cup. That's crazy. Not to mention that bridge that collapsed. There was a bridge that collapsed also. And I think that bridge collapsed in, if y'all know where that bridge collapsed, let me know, put it in the chat. I can't remember what it was, and I covered the story. Yeah, then last Halloween, Alpo died. Yeah. I'm telling you, it was in India. Yep. The bridge collapsed in India, sending hundreds of people to their death. I'm telling you, a lot happened on Halloween, y'all. A lot. It wasn't just Takeoff. And I'm going to tell you this right now. A lot is going to happen on Christmas. Oh, yeah, this Christmas, while y'all doing y'all fa-la-la-la-las and holy holly jingles and all of that, guess what? There's going to be rituals being conducted. It's why we don't celebrate pagan satanic holidays. That's why we don't celebrate them, because the high-ups, they start making their moves. Jules says a sniper took Takeoff out, Bree. I think a sniper might have took him out. I'm not weeding that out. I'm not weeding that out at all. Telling you, man, we really want justice for Takeoff, because this seems like to be a big obstruction of justice. There's so many questions that need to be asked that ain't being asked. It just screams sacrifice till this day. And again, this guy seems like a fall guy. I want to get it from his own words again. Again, shout out to Ringo TV Reacts. Y'all go subscribe to that brother. He's been on the case as well. And I want to play that short again, coming from the so-called suspect's mouth himself, what he said, what he had to say. Hold on, where's that short at? Let me pull this up real quick. Here we go.
So, might go over your head, but what's understood? So you got to learn how to play your position or play a position. Because understand, it don't matter what position you play. If the team win, you get a championship ring.
Yeah, if the team win, he said you got to, we talking about Patsy Clark over here. I mean, Patrick Clark. He said if you play your position, the team win. You get a championship ring. You get the championship ring. Right? That's what he said. Now, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, he's a 33-year-old grown-ass man. I just can't. I can't with these so-called thugs and gangsters. I just can't with these individuals. You should have a whole family out here. You should have some kids out here. Your team that's winning should be your kids, your children in them. My team is my babies. My team is my babies, man. Ringo TV Reacts, thank you for the $10 contribution, bro. I appreciate the support. Says thanks for the shout out, fam. Oh, absolutely, bro. Great work you doing over there, fam. No doubt. Keep the foot on these individuals' necks, man. But this some real talk right here, man. If you're a grown man, bro, your focus should be your family. Your team that should be winning. Your team that should be winning is your legacy, your dynasty, your lineage, your bloodline, your wife. Not know, if you play for the team, whatever position you play, saying you're going to win a championship ring. What is he trying to say right here? Was he awarded by Mob Ties? Was he awarded by HPD? Is the feds awarding? Is the feds awarding this dude? Is he getting a check under the table? Is he just the face of all of this, and under the table, behind the scenes in the dark, something else is being done to help him and his family? Like, what is he talking about right here? Because who wants to be a grown 33-year-old man taking a fall for something? This is crazy.
So, might go over your head, but what's understood? So you got to learn how to play your position or play a position. Because understand, it don't matter what position you play. If the team win, you get a championship ring. So, might go over your head.
That sounds like something that Jay Prince said exactly. That sounds like that came exactly from Jay Prince Jr. That sounds like something Jay Prince Jr. would say. And he just reiterated exactly what Jay Prince Jr. said. I'm talking about, listen, If you 33 years old, why are you still playing the role as the fall guy? Don't y'all remember back in the day, right? In the streets, the fall guys would be 13, 12-year-olds, 11-year-olds, 10-year-olds. You know why 10, 11, and 12-year-olds would be fall guys? They would be fall guys because they couldn't be charged as an adult. They couldn't be charged as an adult because, you know, if we commit a crime and hypothetically we break into somebody's house, right? We run away, somebody get caught, you know what I'm saying? The fall guy's gonna be the youngin because that youngin, he gonna do a little bit of juvenile hall, you know what I'm saying? He gonna get out in no time. He ain't gonna be pressed out like that. All he got to do is be quiet. When he get back to the block, he good. We have a 33-year-old man talking about playing his position and playing his part. See, this is one of those guys you send to the store to go get the blunts, go get the cigars, go get the 211s, go get the, you know, go get the malt liquor. This is one of those dudes you send to the store to go get the blunts. I'm talking about a straight goofy, bro. This is what we witnessing right now. Man, as grown man, black men, man, oh my gosh, this is embarrassing, bro.
Yeah, but what's understood? So you got to learn how to play your position or play a position. Because understand, it don't matter what position you play. If the team win, you get a championship ring. So might go over your head, but what's understood? So you got to learn how to play your position or play a position. Because understand, it don't matter what position you play. If the team win, you get a championship ring.
So if the team win, it's all for the team, right? Mob ties. Cuz is way too old for this, bruh. He just way too damn old for this, man. Yeah, at the bottom of the damn totem pole, at the bottom of the chain of command at 33 years old. Could you imagine that? Not to mention that this is a Masonic number. And then if you still out here 33 years old gang banging, I don't know what to tell you. This is crazy. It just screams cover up, man. It's just so many questions that we can ask. We want the murder weapon. Everybody in Houston should be demanding the murder weapon. You don't just arrest somebody with no motive, no weapon, and still tell the media at the same time, you know, Takeoff was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. No, we need a motive. We need a motive. Why did he get hit with 3 bullets? And who, if he did it, why did he do that? Because you can't sit up here and tell me somebody can get hit with 3 bullets on accident. Man, this is a satanic, demonic, dark world that we live in, bro. There's some wickedness going on out here, and we haven't gotten justice. Like I said, we really need to see a play-by-play, blow by blow of this entire case, just like the OJ trial. We need everything brought to the public. They need to televise this. This need to be televised. This need to have a daytime television. Now that y'all got a suspect and he's been charged, we want to see every single court proceeding, or I'm going to believe the judge and the jury and everybody else involved in it is part of the cover-up. If we don't get to see a daytime, because this is huge, if we don't get a daytime television series on this, a play-by-play court TV every single day that he has to go to court, we seeing this on trial. If y'all can put Johnny Depp all over trial, y'all need to put this on trial. And we need all the evidence. We need a play-by-play of this, or everybody involved, the court, everybody, the jury, everybody sold out. I'm gonna believe that this can trickle down to a federal level if y'all don't go ahead and make this media televised. Yo, somebody said Reading book says he hanging himself. The death penalty can apply. Will never take someone charges. That is crazy. You know what? Because he's not going to be found guilty. I don't believe he's going to get. I don't believe he's going to be convicted. I don't. I think he was charged, but I don't think he's going to be convicted. There's no evidence. They haven't released anything to us. I think that he's taken the fall for a reason. It's almost like they're prolonging everything. That's what it seems like to me. If you have no motive and you have no murder weapon, you have no case. Seriously, you really have nothing. This should have been one of them situations that soon as they arrested the person and charged him, it should have been fed charges immediately. Number one, he should have been hit with a fed charge immediately. You know, once you get with a fed charge, there's no getting out. That's what he should have got hit with, because the evidence should have been so overwhelming against him that it would have been like he'd have been charged. He'd have been getting set up for arraignment. Days after that, you know, he would have had to plead guilty or innocent, but it would have been so much on him that he would have just had to make a plea deal. And if he didn't, he would have just automatically got convicted pretty much, because it would have been so much evidence. They didn't do that. That's not what they did. They basically, any lawyer can get him off this case. I'm just telling you, any lawyer can help him beat this case, yo. I'm telling you. If you have no motive and no murder weapon, you have nothing. Literally, like, this just doesn't make sense, y'all. It doesn't make sense. Yo, TMG says they're trying to make us forget. Exactly. I believe the same thing. Reading book says nobody believes he did it anyway. Right. And by his own words, it's really hard to believe it.
So, might go over your head, but what's understood? So you got to learn how to play your position or play a position. Because understand, it don't matter what position you play. If the team win, you get a championship ring. So, might go.
You know, listen, I've looked in the eyes of a lot of killers in my life. And I don't see that in him, although I could be wrong. But that's not what I'm seeing in this guy. And based on what he's saying, he's playing a position. He's playing a position. He's doing what he got to do so the team can win. It had to come to a point where they needed somebody to be a fall guy. And he looks like the perfect candidate. Now, he damn sure looked like the perfect candidate for a fall guy. He sure does look like one of those guys. Somebody said it sounds scripted what he said, New Breed. Yeah, it sounds like it came from Jay Prince Jr. Yeah, man. So, you know, it is what it is, man. They've got somebody arrested. I'm not buying this. None of this makes any sense. Yeah, I believe a whole RICO needs to come for the J Prince family as a whole. There need to be a whole RICO charge on the entire family, and the HPD need to be under investigation. Straight like that. This is crazy. I believe there's an entire criminal enterprise that needs to be uncovered in Houston. There's an entire criminal enterprise that probably has a lot of people on a ledger. There's probably a lot of drugs involved, a lot of murders involved, a lot of cover-ups involved. And they need to be brought to justice. Everybody needs to be brought to justice. The Prince family, HPD, everything is a huge cover-up, and it's not adding up. It's just not adding up. Somebody said, at this point, I'm not going to invest my energy in this, shake on my head. It's sad, but we already know what happened. Yeah, we know what happened. It was a blood sacrifice for fortune and fame. The industry is totally corrupted, demonic. It just is what it is, brothers and sisters. We gotta really ask the right questions. Hopefully this stimulated some thought. What I aim to do in all of my streams, all my broadcasts, is when you walk away from all these streams, I just want you to think. Use your mind. Question everything. Because a lot of things just don't add up. My gut feeling tells me this is an inside job and a blood sacrifice, nothing more, nothing less, and that everybody's in on it. That private party is very telling. The fact that it was private and nobody sat back and cooperated with police at all. Nothing was brought to the table. On top of that, ladies and gentlemen, it all happened on Halloween. It's just too many signs. The messy video. All the evidence that we seen released in the public. All the footage that should have been being able to be pieced together in a matter of days, not an entire month. Stop supporting Quavo. Don't support anything Migos. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go as far as to say anybody who ate off of the death of Takeoff, don't support them either. Don't support this mainstream demonic shoot 'em up, bang bang, kill murder music. Stop supporting this drug dealer music. Stop supporting this demonic frequency and undertone. Listen, we got to come a time where we just not playing the games with the industry. We got to pull our support from this demonic music all together, bruh. We got to pull our support from this evil music all together. Seriously, are we with that? Are we with that? Are we going to stop supporting the record labels? Are we going to stop supporting the gangster rap culture, the death culture? Are we going to stop supporting gangbangers on YouTube? Are we going to stop supporting people who are all about drama? Are we going to stop supporting the nonsense? Because if we're not, we're feeding the beast. We're feeding the beast. We giving life to these bottom feeding scavengers to keep on exploiting our communities, to keep on destroying the minds of the youth and the youngins. We're giving them grounds to play. We're opening that portal for Satan to enter the homes, man, and destroy households, destroy families. Are we going to start supporting real music? Yo, Mystic Shadow, thank you for the $100 in SCK. Thank you, I appreciate it. It says, I want to send hello to my love who is other side of the world waiting for migration. Love you, baby. Love New Breed. Good show. I guess he's shouting out his people on the other side of the nation. So we got people from all over the world. I'm pretty sure your loved one appreciated that, and I definitely appreciate the support. So thank you for that. But it is what it is, man. We got to really pull our support from the rap industry, man. But listen, thank y'all for catching the show. Share this video everywhere. Like the video. Thank y'all for subscribing. Pound that notification video because I'm going to be doing a play-by-play as more details come to the table. Thank each and every one of y'all for showing y'all support. All the real ones who added to the chat. Shout out to everybody who joined. With that being said, y'all have a blessed one. Shalom and peace.